Welcome, Peter.
Thank you. Forgive me, I'm a little nervous. I'm more of a writer than a speaker. This is my first time speaking here at the council. I just came across an issue in the news which is really deeply concerning to me and which I do think could impact Monroeville, the municipality. I follow politics pretty closely. And as I do, I was reading about some local races when I stumbled across articles in the Pittsburgh City Paper and the Intercept about this congressional candidate, this congressional candidate named Bhavini Patel, who's gotten herself into some hot water because supposedly she's taken money or fundraising or something from an Indian American organization that's called the HSS, which is radical and extremist. And I know that sounds like it doesn't have anything to do with the municipality, but then when I started digging and looking into this organization, I realized how it does. As someone who's personally...
Well, I would remind you, if you could just keep your comments to Monroeville issues
yes,
specifically,
sir. Yes,
please.
Sir. Well, I want to advise the municipality of why this is an issue for you guys, for us. As someone who's personally and professionally really deeply involved with the Indian community across the country, I reached out to my Indian friends and I asked them about this organization called the HSS. And they gave me information about it. And the first thing I learned is that this group has a habit of going around the country to cities, municipalities, counties, and getting resolutions from them, getting like proclamations from them, doing photo ops with the fire and police departments, stuff like that. And I learned like one of the local townships that has done so recently, I think is Upper St. Clair. And the next thing I found is that this group, the HSS, they have 2 chapters here in Greater Pittsburgh. You know, apparently this group does all of this, but here's my concern and why I looked. And I'm not sure if Monroeville is already engaged with the HSS or not, but I wanted to ask you, please don't. You know, it really concerns me to see our local governments and politicians getting involved with a group like this and affirming them. And it's so strange that they do, because it only took me a few seconds looking up on Google about the HSS to realize how problematic they are. And I just wanted to flag that for the municipality so you know not to get involved with them, but also why not to get involved with them. You see, if you look them up, it says that their parent organization, this HSS here in Pittsburgh, is an outfit back in India called the RSS. And I like to research, so I looked on Wikipedia, and it says that the RSS is a right-wing Hindu nationalist paramilitary organization which draws its inspiration from European fascist movements. I mean, like, what in the world? And this HSS, which is apparently the American wing of this fascist RSS paramilitary, it's here in Pittsburgh area getting glad-handed by local city governments. And I want to make sure that doesn't happen with the Monroeville municipality, because that's so scary. I dug a little bit deeper, and these groups, they're involved at the RSS, this parent organization back in India. They're involved in massacres of Christians and Muslims, massacres where they apparently killed thousands of people in a few days. And one quote I stumbled across by a French political scientist, I think it's in this info packet I found, and I printed for you guys. It says that the HSS is the RSS operated under a different name, but it will strive to mask the links that they have with the RSS to avoid being overtly stigmatized. And there's a whole lot more I could cover, but I don't think it's appropriate for sharing. The scariest thing I found was that one of the leaders of that RSS group during World War II apparently said a lot of anti-Semitic stuff, including he called Judaism an intolerant faith.
Peter, you have 1 minute if
Okay.
you want to finish up your comments, and if you have handouts, you can certainly hand
Sure.
them in, and we'll make sure we
And this leader of the RSS, he talked about how the RSS should treat the Holocaust as a justification for its own goal of eradicating religious minorities from India. And so it's really frightening that it's apparently a big thing around the country and here in PA and in Pittsburgh for the HSS to come knocking on the doors of local governments and try and get into your good graces. And your guess is as good as mine as to why they would want access to your political power. But I just want to ask Monroeville to please be on the lookout.
I will leave the floor open for anyone who would like to address council.